Hello everybody, I am back. I suck at recording videos. I accidentally clicked the stop recording button. But I tiered them as I was wallowing, or was as willowing in my sorrow, or whatever the word is, of how bad I am at filming videos. S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier. Um, we got, as I said in my last video, towards the, right at the end of it, we got 2 characters from Star Wars Villainous left, 3 characters from Marvel Villainous left, and 4 characters from Disney Villainous left. The next character we got up here is the Evil Queen. She is just a fun character to play. Like I said, all these, basically from Radigan up, is where I really have fun with all these characters that are on here, where I can have fun with them anytime, and I'll play them anytime, with the exception of a few who are mighty difficult to win with, looking at you, Cruella and Thanos and MODOK. But, whoa, was that a voice crack? Oh god, that's terrible. Anyways, I used to really not like Evil Queen because I honestly thought that she was just, confusing to understand with the whole potions thing. But I've warmed up to her, and I think that she is just great. You know, having to play all the potions to unlock each potion having an ability. You can copy the potion's ability. You can search through your deck, and she's definitely on the more easy side, but that's also balanced in a good way, with Snow White getting strength added every time that a hero is that played. Getting +1 strength for every hero on the board. And it's just really good way to balance her. Of course, that doesn't stop me much because I wait till I have, 10 power to brew anything into poison, so. But, yeah, she's definitely the character I've warmed up to most since I've got Wicked to the Core. Well, definitely a character I've warmed up to the most in the Wicked to the Core box. She used to be really low. I used to really not like this character. But moving on to the next, we're moving down to another Marvel Villainous character. Finishing out the A tier is Loki Laufeyson. From the face of Marvel Villainous, Mischief, and Malice. And now that I'm looking at this, there's only 3 box art characters that I have on here. 3 characters that are on the front of the box. Only 3 more. But anyways, Loki, he's another one that I can... Loki is another one who I can technically say I am disappointed by. And how that comes into where I don't think I've ever been more excited for a character in Villainous more than Loki. And he's fun, don't get me wrong. I just think that he kind of drags at the end of the game. I mean, he's not even that disappointing. He's just 1 out of 10 disappointing because of how the end of the game goes. Because it's really fun to gain Mischief, but it's just not terribly fun to spend the Mischief. And the game starts dragging at the end. But at the same time, I have pretty much unending fun with this character, and I think he definitely deserves to be at the top of the A tier. Okay, moving on to the final tier, the S tier, the top 7 characters. And we're going to start this one off with Madame Mask. Probably the most difficult character out of every Villainous character to win with. So why is she up here, you ask? She's fun. That's all I got here. She is just dumb fun. She's definitely a character I play for laughs if I do play her, because I know I'm not going to win because of how difficult she is. But that's not even it. The main reason why she's this high is because of her concept. Now, not everyone likes her concept because it's so new, but basically how she works is that she cannot gain power off her board. There are no gain power actions on her board. She has to either use her Vendetta tile to an activate action, or use her allies who are at a location with no heroes to gain certain amounts of power. And she'll definitely run out of it from time to time, but it's just that. There's ways if you're not getting the right cards to get heroes out. The reason why she's down lower than the other two characters who need to defeat heroes to win, the reason why she's lower than them is because I just feel like they could have gave her more cards to get heroes out. Like, they have cards that can take heroes from other boards to her board. They have characters who can move heroes off of her board to another. She has cards that can move heroes off her board to another board. She has cards that let her vanquish characters on other boards. And she has an ally who plays heroes. But that's only one ally who does that, so if you don't get him early, then you're just gonna have to rely on other stuff, which you don't have a lot of. Okay, next character on here is actually another hero defeating character, and oh my god, this is probably like the most surprising ranking change I've made. Actually, no, it's not. Yeah, Scar from The Lion King. The face of the Evil Country Parabox. He used to be my number 2 for Disney Villainous. Now he's my number 3. And I think where it comes in is that after, a certain someone who has to defeat heroes came in, he definitely changed after that certain someone became a thing. Because, how this? Scar is number 6. I will talk about him when I put Grievous on the list. So we're going to move on for now. Taking the top spot, my favorite Marvel Villainous character to play. This might just be because of new bias, or this might just be because he's just straight up fun, and that is Venom. I don't know why exactly he's way up here. I think that he is just that perfect character for Marvel Villainous. He's not too hard, he's not too easy, he's definitely the middle difficulty villain to win with, in my opinion. I just think they handled him perfectly. I don't think they could have handled him more perfectly. I don't have a problem with him. The only problem is that he's kind of confusing. His villain guide doesn't say too much. It does say, his cards do say, any Spider-Man hero, and I've seen some confusion on that in the group, my Villainous group on Facebook about that. It's like, is there, more than one Spider-Man hero? I'm like, no, it's just probably foreshadowing that there's definitely going to be more heroes named Spider-Man, because don't forget, because of the Mischief and Malice instruction booklet, the back of it, it shows us that we're also getting Doc Ock, and we're probably getting, if they keep doing single packs like this, they're probably going to have a whole Sinister Six lineup for us here. But yeah, I hope they start doing this with some more characters. It'd be a great way to get some hero characters that can't fit in sets for pretty much all these out. Yeah, I think that he's just the perfect character for Marvel Villainous. Not every character is perfect. I mean, he still has some flaws. He still is pretty confusing. But I think that he is just, amazing. Okay. One who surprised me for how high he is actually Darth Vader. Number 4 on my list is Vader. I was the most surprised by this character, actually, for Marvel Villainous. Because this goal just sounded so generic. It says defeat Luke Skywalker, and I'll probably a lot of people don't agree with this, but I think Darth Vader is one of the most overrated characters. He's a great villain in cinema history. Don't get me wrong, but I think that there's definitely some villains that need love too, and Darth Vader. Like, you bring another villain into Star Wars, and Darth Vader sweeps all the love back. Probably. Out of all the villains that are in the first Marvel Villainous set, in the movies, Darth Vader is probably my favorite. He's dope. But just a little bit overrated. Especially with his goal, Well, no, not especially. He was just his goals sounded generic, but I think they handled it perfectly. Moving Luke Skywalker is a nice tug of war game. His fate deck isn't too brutal, but can still really hurt you if the time is right. He can hold on to ambition easily. He's definitely on the more easy side of Star Wars Villainous, but I just think that this character is the perfect way they could have done Darth Vader. Definitely the perfect way they could have done Darth Vader. I wish the Millennium Falcon had a different ability because it's the freaking Millennium Falcon and its ability isn't used too much, I think. But just a fun character. One character, whether I'm ranking Marvel Villainous, Star Wars Villainous, whether I'm ranking Disney Villainous or all of them, just always taking the spot that says number 3 is Hades. From the not from We Are Venom. Finishing off the Wicked to the Core box. I've always loved this character. He has my favorite art in Villainous, period. I think the Titans look amazing. Love the tug of war game where you're moving them. A lot of people was like, oh, it's so boring, just go back and forth to move. And I was like, no, that's fun. I was like, and also getting them to play them is fun. I don't know. He's a character that I think gets way too much hate. And just people seem to hate on him a lot. Gives Hades so much crap. And I'm like, why? But, I mean, I like him. And he takes number 3 spot. I just think that he is fun. He also isn't as difficult. A lot of people say, like, oh, he's the most difficult character to win with in Villainous. And I'm like, no, he's really not. He's definitely like a mid-difficulty villain. Everyone in the Wicked to the Core box seems to be fairly easy wins. Like, especially Facilier and Evil Queen are definitely 2 of, like, the bottom, like, they're, like, in the top 5 easiest to win with, I'd say. But yeah, Hades is just a character who doesn't deserve all the hate he gets. Taking the number 2 spot, just barely. Him and the top spot were fighting for it, but he ended up getting second place, and that is General Grievous. Now, this is where I will start talking about Scar. Scar was up here until General Grievous came in, because General Grievous seems to be the perfect balance of how you make a goal for a character who needs to defeat heroes. Not going to talk about how bad his villain mover is. That's a talk for another day. Honestly, it's just like, ew. But definitely not making his fate deck as brutal as these two can be back here are definitely why General Grievous is up here. Now, why I talk about Scar is that the reason why Scar's down here is because he has way too many Hakuna Matata cards. The Hakuna Matata cards can hurt him so much, and based on like how big your fate discard pile is going to be, how many heroes you defeat, or how many heroes are on your board, people are going to be drawing those all the time, and it's just unfair. The amount of Hakuna Matatas is like, I think that's the first time I've said the word unfair in this video specifically. Yeah, it's just the amount of Hakuna Matatas that Scar has is unfair. You know, if they took, like, 1 Hakuna Matata out and gave him 2 instead of 3 Hakuna Matata cards, he would be so much easier. But now moving on to General Grievous, not making his fate deck so much less brutal than, well, not so much less brutal, but less brutal than all the other Star Wars Villainous characters, was definitely what they needed to do for a character who needed to defeat 8 heroes. Now, General Grievous does occasionally run into that problem that all the defeating hero goals havers need, lost my words there. He has the same problem that Scar and Madame Mask do, and that is that occasionally he will run into not having enough cards to get the heroes he needs out. But I think that he is definitely the best way they have done the defeat heroes goal so far. Okay, top spot. The top spot has not changed, and I don't think it will for a while, and that is Mother Gothel taking the S plus tier. Yeah, she's the S plus tier all on her own. She's just... do I even need to say anything? She's just the best. She has the perfect tug of war game. She's definitely probably Now I think about it, she is the most difficult to win with. She's so hard to win with. If you're playing with someone who really knows the right fate cards to play against her at the right time. But I just love the whole trust aspect. Tangled is my favorite Disney movie simply because it's just hilarious, and now I think I might actually watch it after this. But just amazing. Always liked this character since I got the set. I'm also really good at this character. Like one time I was playing Villainous and I got faded on someone's first turn because I gained 3 trust, and I was like, "Why you fading me, man?" And he's like, and everyone was like, "Cause you're like the 5 people was playing it. They're all like, "Cause you're gaining 3 trusts on the first turn," and I'm like, "Hey, it's my goal. It's my objective." But that is it. So D tier. This is my ranking in order for D tier. Lotso, Gaston, 35. Lotso, um, Gaston, Queen of Hearts, Prince John, Maleficent, Yzma, Ursula, Killmonger, Kylo Ren, Syndrome, Madame Mim, Asajj Ventress, Horned King, Dr. Facilier, Lady Tremaine, Taskmaster, Captain Hook, Hela, Moff Gideon, Ratigan, MODOK, Cruella de Vil, Thanos, Pete, Jafar, Ultron, Evil Queen, Loki, Madame Mask, Scar, Venom, Darth Vader, Hades, General Grievous, and the top spot goes to no other than Mother Gothel. Still the champion of my ranking list. She's been my favorite for a while, and I don't think it's going to be changing anytime soon. So thank you everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.